All right, welcome into Chatterbox Reds on a winning Monday night. Kevin Newman, baby. I knew I loved that guy. I knew he was a good player, Nick. Glad to be back, by the way. I know I missed a lot. But I'm glad to be back. And thank you for holding it down over the weekend. But a big game by Kevin Newman, among others. There's others. I'm sure there's some things we'll get into, as we always do. But first and foremost, hope you're doing well, Nick. And second of all, hit him with the game recap whenever you'd like, my man.
Yeah, absolutely. So, good one for the Reds tonight. Kevin Newman, like you mentioned, got the Reds off with a solo blast to left field. Got the Reds up 1-0. Hunter Greene, he had pitched 3 scoreless innings. He got hit in the leg in the 3rd inning on a comebacker that turned out to be the first out of the inning. Actually bounced off him, and Will Myers made a nice play at first base to get it out. He finished that inning, but he did not come back out in the 4th. Officially called a right tibia contusion. X-rays were negative. His final line on the night, 3 innings pitched, 3 hits, 0 runs, 0 walks, 1 strikeout. Bottom of the 4th, TJ Friedl, bases clearing double to add big insurance runs, as the Reds were at that point looking at a bullpen game. Reds bullpen, they pitched out of trouble. Alex Young got a double play with 2 runners on base to get out of the 5th inning. And then Jake Fraley made an absolutely spectacular diving catch. 2 outs and the bases loaded in the top of the 6th. He doesn't catch that. It's probably a 4-3 game at that point, Trace, and totally different outcome potentially. Stevenson, Newman, Barrero, and Friedl each had RBI hits. That extended the Reds' lead 8-1. The Rays were able to get 1 run back in the 9th, but not enough to defeat the Cincinnati Reds. Tampa has lost their 3rd game of the season. 8-1 final, Cincinnati.
Yeah, I don't think they do this at the big league level, but the pitching staff blew their opportunity to take BP in that last inning. I'm not sure if that I never made it to the big leagues, but I know that was something that the pitching staff was always trying to accomplish when I played. If you threw a shutout, then you got a chance to hit BP the next day. And you ask any pitcher, they all can tell you that they can hit. So we'll jump through the lineup card here, if you will, the rundown. I think I like the lineup card better. I think that might stick, Nick. Hunter Greene, Kevin Newman, the bullpen, and Fraley's catch. Don't let me forget about the fact that TJ Friedl completely bailed out Jose Barrero, and that was one of the most abysmal displays of an at-bat I've ever seen all year long, and I'm still upset about it, and I will talk about it, no doubt about it. It will rear its ugly head at some point in this show. But I don't want to get off to a bad start because an overall good night. I'm not going to sit here and fret on the pessimistic side of Trace from time to time. Hunter Greene, though. Again, we've talked about this at length about how it's important to keep these guys relatively healthy this year. A little bit of a scare. It did feel like, though, that if this was the World Series, I use that as the extreme example that you could possibly use. It did feel like he was going to stay in the game if it was relatively important. Did you get that vibe when he walked off and then he obviously didn't come back? Or were you genuinely, I don't want to say concerned. I think we were all somewhat concerned, but did you ever feel like it was like a serious matter?
Yeah, I would lean no, just because he got 2 more outs after he was hit. At first, I was a little bit concerned about his velocity because his velocity was down. But then as the game went on, I'm looking at StatCast, and literally every single pitcher's fastball velocity was about 1.5 miles to 2 miles an hour down. I think Green's was like 2.7, but Greene throws a lot harder, so 2.7 isn't as much for him. Yeah, I think you're probably right. I mean, the X-rays came back negative, so I don't know. It's kind of, I guess, a wait and see. Right. I don't think he's going to go on the IL, but I'm just completely speculating.
Well, it's okay to speculate. I don't think that he's going to go on the IL either. I do have a fun thing for the chat here at some point tonight. I want to make sure that I actually have I want to make sure that I have this audio ready to go when it actually becomes available. I will have it here shortly. Hunter, I text you this earlier today, but these 6:40 starts, Nick, are not ideal for for my life. I know that I know they're not going to change it based off of just me, but just the fact that you got, kids in baseball and things of that nature. I like those 7:10 starts, especially with the 2 hours. Now tonight, luckily, went way longer than it usually would have. But I don't know how you feel about these 6:40 guys, but I gotta say, based off of just I guess I'm being very, very narrow-minded when it comes to me here, but I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I'd rather these things start a little bit later, especially if they're going to be quicker.
Yeah, no, I agree. I didn't like the 6:40 starts before, but with the pitch clock, it just feels so unnecessary at this point. I mean, you're having games that are ending like at 9 o'clock. I don't feel like you're really capitalizing on the primetime hours there. For most people, I think there's just a lot of people that are going to miss out on a lot of the games. So yeah, I wish they go back to the 7:10s. I just think I got why they did it before, when the games were going till 10 o'clock regularly every night, but it just seems completely unnecessary now.
Hey, what's the service manipulation date? I know the Reds aren't doing that, but I'm just asking for a friend. What's the service manipulation date for, I don't know, maybe a guy that plays in AAA? What's the date? Do you know that off the top of your head? Maybe someone in the chat. I know someone in the chat definitely knows, so pop that in there. I'm just curious, just interested.
It's not a set date. It's a percentage of the season.
Yeah, but at some point you can guarantee yourself that you're going to be below that percentage. I want to know what that date is.
It was like May 5th when Nick Senzel got called up. So gotcha. I don't know when the season started that year, but that was literally right after it. So,
so it's not like a may the force be with you type thing. Like we couldn't like Star Wars that thing where we can bring up McLean on that day, and that would be electric.
I really don't buy that that's what they're doing with this. I just think you saw Jonathan India on the opening day roster, Tyler Stevenson on the opening day roster.
I've heard this before.
Nick Lodolo. I don't see it. And Alex brings up a point. There's also the Super 2, which it doesn't get as much pub among like baseball people talking about it, but the Super 2, I think, to a lot of front offices means just as much because that they reach arbitration quicker, not just the extra year of service time. That is typically, I believe, around June 1st. So I don't think a guy like Matt McLean, the Reds are looking for service time. I really don't buy that. I could see it if it was Ellie De La Cruz, but I don't think that has anything to do with what the Reds are doing right now.
Well, I'm going to keep throwing it out there. It's a fun little gig, a fun little bit. And if he just happens to come up on May 16th or something like that, I'll just say, what a coincidence. Seems like a really weird thing that happened. Now, it could be coincidental, of course. There's people asking about Greene in the chat. Greene, we think, we're speculating, we think he's okay. X-rays came back negative, so all is well on that front. Well, now whether or not he'll miss some time, that's left to be determined. But that's the situation on Hunter Greene. Before we jump into Kevin Newman, I want to finish my thought on Barrero. I just, from a baseball IQ level, Nick, like, you got to be better. Like, it's not even an excuse, to be quite frank. Like, I don't even know what he was thinking when he was up there. This guy's all over the place. He goes 2-0 on you. The pitch that he threw right before that was legitimately every bit of 3 feet outside. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that. It was 3 feet outside. And I don't understand how he swings at the next pitch that is literally maybe 6 or 7 inches inside. The guy's struggling. You're not Barry Bonds either. Like, that's the other thing. It's like, and I'm as big as a Jose Barrero quote unquote somewhat fan as you can be. I'm rooting for the guy. I'm trying like hell to let everybody know this is the reason he should be in there. Like we don't need this Kevin Newman guy taking up reps for Jose Barrero. We need to see what we got. And my man is up here swinging at pitches that are a foot inside after the guy's all over the place. He's hitting 205 for the year. What are you thinking when you're up there? Do you have any logical brain that would tell you, you know what? This guy's struggling. Let me see if I can't bail him out. So what's he do? He swings at a pitch a foot inside. Then he lays off a pitch that was borderline that would have been ball 4 because the umpire wasn't giving that guy a strike until he theoretically threw one. He wasn't going to give him borderline strike when he's all over the place. So he would have walked. But instead, he strikes out. And TJ Friedel bails him out. I'm not forgetting that. I know it was 8-1, but I don't do that. That's not how this works. If TJ Friedel doesn't hit a base and clearing double, and then second of all, if not Friedel, but if Fraley doesn't make that play in right field, Nick, they could have lost this game. And I know that maybe is being a little bit of an oversell, but genuinely, like, that's the difference. And I can't believe that Jose Barrero decided to swing at that pitch. When I say you have to have maybe one of the worst baseball IQs that I've seen in quite some time, you genuinely have to have that, Nick. And I'm being nice with this guy. I'm actually trying to be nice about it. I screamed out loud in my car watching this as I was driving, just audibly gasped. Like I seen a bus crash off the side of the road bad. Like, oh my gosh. Am I overreacting, Nick?
I don't even know what pitch you're talking about. I'm trying to look it up.
You're kidding me.
I must have been putting the kids to bed.
Yeah, you weren't watching. They had the old frisbee thrower in there. I don't know the guy's name. I'm sure I'll look it up.
Was it the Kevin Kelly at bat versus Kevin Kelly? That's I don't. It's hard.
Help me out, chat.
I'm looking
Help me out. Nick.
At
You just got to go to an
33.
I'll find his at bat. Just give me a moment. Let's go to all. I'll tell you.
I found it. So it was, I guess, the third pitch. He swung at the. Yeah, it had to be the third pitch, a sinker inside. All right.
You got it in front of you?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it looked worse on TV.
Oh, that's bad, Nick. Are you telling me that's not bad? Nick, I'm looking. Nick, I'm sharing this. Take the. Hold on. Chat, look at this. Look at this, chat. Look at this. Do you see pitch 2 on there, chat? Does anyone see number 2? Does anyone? You don't see it because it's off the screen.
Oh, that's what I was missing.
His first pitch was barely on the screen. His second pitch was not even on the screen. And the third pitch, he misses inside by what, 7 inches, 6 inches? And he swings at it. He's hitting, what's Barrero even hitting this year? Let's look. What's he hitting? He's hitting a whopping 220. That's so bad. It's embarrassing. All right, I'm done. I promise everybody I'm done. Let's move on. Kevin
the Reds
Newman
did win
of all
8-1 tonight.
They did. I just can't believe Kevin Newman. Great game, man. I knew he had it in him. I knew he had it in him. Hunter Greene's talking right now.
Those pitches are super important with these guys.
Here you go.
I really wanted to finish that inning. I knew I could finish it. But yeah, as soon as I came in and kind of stood, I wasn't really moving and activating it. It tightened up right away, and it would be foolish to go back out there. I mean, I really wanted just to go out there and be able to compete for the team, but I would be using nothing but arm, and just it's too early in the season and just wouldn't make sense.
So, sounds like he's somewhat discomforted, but he'll be back better than ever. Kevin Newman. Let's talk about Kevin Newman. He deserves it. It's Kevin Newman trade bait. They're asking in the chat.
Oh, my gosh.
What? This part of the show. If you have a good game, then you're trade bait.
Sheesh.
I'm waiting for Sean to drop
Kevin.
it. He'll be on there in a minute. Sean knows what Sean has 100% knows what he's coming with here in a minute. But go ahead, Nick.
I think
Kevin Newman had a day. Let the people know what he did.
Maybe you could package Newman with India. The package deal.
Yeah.
There you go.
You want a middle infield? Got one for you.
Kevin Newman had a nice night. This guy, he hits left-handed pitching well. So that's why the Reds are playing him. I think he helps, keep the lineup somewhat competitive against left-handed pitching. Something that's been a problem for the Reds for the last couple years. So, look, these guys like Kevin Newman and Will Myers that got off to these rough starts, They're not terrible players. Give them a little bit of a chance. I'm a lot higher on Will Myers than I am on Kevin Newman. But I think Kevin Newman's he's at worst an average player. And that's fine. That's fine for this roster. You need a couple veterans with all these young guys, and there's going to be more young guys that are going to be cycling in and out. And I think it's good to have a couple of Kevin Newman, Will Myers types. I just don't think there's anything wrong with that. And it was nice to see him have a good night. Get to wear the Viking hat.
Yeah, the Viking hat is nice. I think it's a good touch. I think it's funny. I actually started liking the Viking hat as soon as all of the folks that usually complain about bat flips started complaining about the Viking helmet. So I at that point decided I was pro Viking helmet just based off the fact of the demographic of people that seemed like they were really upset about it. Trying to think if there's anything in the chat that I see right now that's fun to talk about. Not so much. The bullpen. And it's not really Hunter Greene's fault because he obviously got hurt, had to come out, but this continues to be a little bit of a problem, Nick. And again, I'm not trying to use tonight as like a huge reference point, but we keep asking this bullpen who everybody wants to complain about, and rightfully so sometimes. Listen, when you lead the league in losses, I've said it before, you're gonna have room for people to have significant complaints about. However, we've got to find a way to take it at least somewhat easy on this bullpen. It seems like every single day, outside of the days that Ashcraft and Lodolo throw, and even sometimes when they throw, they're still asked to get 4 innings worth of outs done. That'd be 3, 6, 9, 12 outs if you're keeping track. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how you fix it. I guess you just hope that guys go out there and throw a little bit better, and we can hopefully save a little bit of arms. You know, I mean, Luis can't get much worse than Luis Sessa, but your overall thoughts on the bullpen? They threw well, right? I mean, that's what you're going to say. You're going to talk about how great they threw. That's my assumption.
Yeah, I mean, 6 innings, 1 run. I mean, against a lineup that you look up and down the lineup, there's guys that have 900 plus, 1,000 plus OPSs. This is a really good, deep lineup that they pitched well again. I think the bullpen has, other than a couple blow-up games, has really pitched, pretty well. I don't think Luke Weaver's going to help the whole pitching deep into games for a little while. He wasn't pitching super deep into games at Louisville. So that's, not helpful, but Lucas Sims does sound like he's probably going to be activated on Wednesday. So that should be, a little bit of a help for sure.
Yeah. And, you brought up the Friedel catch, which is Fraley catch. That was, the last thing on the agenda item. I am going to work to find that catch, and why MLB. This is why sometimes, I'm assuming this is an algorithm, Nick, that decides what are quote unquote key moments of the game on MLB.com. And the fact they don't have Fraley's catch on here as a key moment is just a big swing and a miss. So I'm gonna work to find this catch, and we're gonna run it for the folks.
I'll find it for you real quick. I gotta send you the link to the film room that has the feed. Makes it so much easier to find everything.
Are you holding out stuff or what?
I'm not holding anything out.
Seems like you are.
Here, I'll text it to you.
That's
not going to help you.
How about this? You email it to me. That'll help me.
Yeah, how about I email it to you? But hey, the bullpen, while I'm doing that, 4.21. I just ran the numbers updating through tonight. It's a 4.21 ERA. Hey, this was a team that mid fives last year. So look, they're pitching decent.
Okay. I mean, I agree. I just think that, again, I'm not, what's the terrible analogy of the night? It's just like the 9:30 lights are coming 1,000%. They're ready for it. I love this chat, man. They are on it and they're electric. You guys are the best. The 9:30 lights is about to hit me like a freight train without question. It's going to stump me right in the middle of my thought. But I don't even know where I was going with this. But the bullpen, here's my thought on it. You can only tout how good a bullpen is until the fact of the matter is whether it's a 1-run game and they've had to get six extra outs than a traditional bullpen would have to get. I don't care. If you lead the league in losses, Nick, it's tough to win over a portion of the fan base that's going to complain no matter what, right? I mean, and that's, I guess, to your point, you keep trying to remind people that this bullpen isn't as bad as everyone makes it out to be. I'm just trying to steer the ship, or I guess mediate this a little bit by saying, hey, Nick's kind of right, but these guys are kind of right too. I mean, at some point, maybe we can meet in the middle and understand that they're probably not as bad as everyone makes it out to be. There it goes. And maybe they aren't as good as we want to say they are either. I don't know which is which. But I'm hopeful that Sessa comes back. He's got to come back in the bullpen, right? I mean, he's not running out there again as a starter. Are we doing that again, Nick?
I would think so. Bobby was on off the bench today, and he thinks Sessa's going to get another chance. I'm fine with them giving him another start. Next start is going to be against the Pirates. Luis Sessa, man, he got absolutely annihilated in his first start last year against the Dodgers, and then he pitched pretty well. I mean, this is a guy that's a veteran pitcher. He's been around for a while. The Reds made it very clear with Jim Days reporting on the broadcast yesterday that they're not going to be calling up Andrew Abbott anytime soon. Levi Stout, yeah, you give him a shot, but he just got rocked in AAA his last start out. So, I mean, I don't think that it's necessarily going to move the needle one way or the other. Now, if Sessa goes out Friday night in Pittsburgh and gets obliterated, then yeah, I think then you can you can, I think, probably call for a move. But I'm fine with him getting one more start, seeing how he looks, and seeing if he can be a decent option for the Reds.
My gosh. Are we just going to keep on just beating this guy's confidence to the ground?
Luis Sessa?
Yeah. I mean, this guy needs some help, man. He needs a mental break. He needs
I don't know if
him and Connor Overton need to go get a cup of coffee and relax a little bit, and then maybe come back and see us in a couple weeks, see how things are going.
Well, Sessa's out of options, so you can't send him down. You'd have to move him to the bullpen.
Might be hurt.
I don't think moving to the bullpen is going to help his confidence, because remember, this is a guy that left the World Baseball Classic early, literally just because he wanted to be a starter for the Reds. He really wants to be a starter. Now, whether he can. Well,
I'd like to play in the NBA too, Nick, but I can't.
I'm just saying, I don't think it's going to help his confidence. He, has made it very, very apparent that he wants to start.
Okay. I mean, listen, I'm all right. Positive vibes. We'll see how the next one goes. Overall thoughts, comments, concerns, any questions from the chat? I know I missed a couple things. I want to congratulate Will Myers on a great game the other day. Very, very well done. That is very much appreciated. I'm glad that he decided to show up in a big way. And then I almost felt like over the weekend I missed two shows. The first show I was like, man, they might never have me back. Could you imagine if I came back for that Sunday show? I would have literally gotten kicked off the show. Thankfully Bryce decided to save me and take that Sunday show, and luckily for me it was another severe takedown. But as I've said before, Nick, it doesn't matter how much you win by or lose by. All that matters is if you win or you lose. So baseball's a weird game. Go ahead.
Yeah, one other point on Greene, just something interesting. He threw more sliders than fastballs tonight. So I don't know if that was a thing where he didn't have a good feel for the fastball, or if that was a deliberate thing, trying to mix up his pitches more. Obviously, we didn't see more than 3 innings, so it's kind of hard to really know how that strategy would have played out the whole game. But I just did think that was kind of an interesting thing to watch.
All right, I'm going to add in your game film here and see what I get. Is this like some kind of archived place? Is this? Oh,
yeah. The film room. If you set up a feed, you can just have every Reds highlight that goes through. But I'll send you the bookmark that I got.
Okay. All right.
Makes it very easy to keep up on games.
I'll have it for next show as well. Other all thoughts, comments, concerns from this Reds ball club. I do want to talk about Joey Votto. I know you guys kind of got into it a little bit over the weekend. I didn't get a chance to discuss this, or at least have a little bit of a catching up to do with my man Joey. I know that you had played his comments on the previous show. What a weird interview. I don't know what to make of that. I know that he, without being funny, I guess I'm trying to be a little bit, but I know that he thinks he's doing well. He made that abundantly clear. I think he thinks he's ahead of schedule, but I don't know what that means. He said it so many times that I almost, I don't know, maybe I'm reading too far into that interview, but it just seemed like he was, I have no idea. I know I'm almost at a loss for words with it, because it seemed like he was like trying to say it so many times that he was like trying to be obvious about it in a weird way. It almost was like, I didn't go and do that, Nick. I didn't go and do that, Nick. I didn't go and do that, Nick. At some point, you're going to be like, okay, maybe he did go and do that. Like, that's how I took it. I don't know. Or maybe he's just a little out there. Maybe he's an odd bird, which, one would argue maybe that's the case too. I still wonder if he's going to ever be healthy enough to be a quote-unquote everyday big leaguer and or a serviceable big leaguer. And I think that's a tough pill to swallow for a lot of us, because a lot of us genuinely are rooting for Joey to have an opportunity to finish on the right note, whatever that ends up being for the Cincinnati Reds. I just don't. I guess I'm being pessimistic and saying I don't see it happening. I think that he's genuinely got an issue with health. I think shoulders are probably. It's just different. It's not like it's not like an elbow, or it's not like a finger or something like that, Nick. It's a big deal. I don't know how much we should really even make out of it anyways, if we're being honest. Like, am I being too overly ridiculous and non-sentimental when I say that if he comes back, great. If he doesn't, then he doesn't. Like, I don't know. I know that's such a harsh thing to say, and I love Joey. I've said it time and time again. I mean this when I say this. When you get paid that much money and it's guaranteed, it says a lot about you as a person and your work ethic and your character to prepare and to try to be the best player you could possibly be, the way that he did throughout his entire tenure as a Cincinnati Red. He was a model citizen. He worked as hard as he possibly could have. He was a team leader. And if you want to complain about the fact that we paid him that much money and it hindered us in other areas, that's fine, but that's not on Joey. But I'm at a point now where we all know that Joey's not a part of the future. That doesn't mean that I'm not trying to be sentimental. Doesn't mean that I don't care for the guy. It doesn't mean that I don't respect what he's done in Cincinnati. I have all of those things. However, I also don't really want the concept of just bringing a guy back just because we theoretically should from a sentimental perspective. I don't even care if this team, is 15 games out and we're going to sit there and play this quote-unquote card that it's like, oh, who cares? We're going to lose anyways. Just throw them out there. Like, this is the big leagues. You have to earn your way. You have to be able to be the best guy, in my opinion, at that position in order to be able to earn service time and playing time. And if he's not, then that's just the way it is. I'm okay with maybe a ceremonial, game or something, Nick. I know that's not going to happen, but that's my overall thoughts on it. And maybe people want to crush me for that or not, but I don't know. I mean, do you think he's going to come back, Nick? Not to put you on the spot. Do you think genuinely he's going to come back and play somewhat every day?
Yeah, I think he's going to come back and play at some point. I don't think we made enough about Votto's 2021 season at 37 years old and just how remarkable that season was. I think it was like, oh, he's back. And I think people just expected that he was going to be able to repeat that. No, that was a special season that doesn't happen from 95% of 37-year-olds, much less ones that have already made a ton of money in this game that aren't really playing for any, future earnings or anything like that. I mean, yeah, what Joey Votto does this year does nothing for the Reds' future. Like, that's callous to say, but it's the truth. I also don't think like Joey's necessarily going to be taking at bats away from a lot of people. I think the Reds are going to have plenty of spots throughout the season to play, especially as there's other injuries. If you remember last year, there was so many guys that got at bats in August and September that Aquino's in Japan right now. I mean, there'll be plenty of at bats to go around. I guess the one maybe positive from this is that the longer this drags out, if he does come back and it's father time has run its course, it's not as long, it's not a painful April and May. And, so maybe you're avoiding some of that. I don't know. I thought they should have platooned Votto a long time ago. He hasn't hit left-handed pitching since like 2017. I think that would have helped his numbers look a lot better. I think it would have helped him stay on the field. But Votto wants to play every day, and I guess it's kind of a hard situation. And the Reds haven't also had a ton of great options, to be fair, as well, to platoon with him. But I think, I don't know, I think he should come back and he should platoon. I think he has a chance to still hit right-handed pitching at least an average level. I really think if you're playing him every day and you're playing him against left-handed pitching, I think that's where it could really become a tough situation for everyone, for David Bell, for Joey Votto, for the front office. So I don't know. I guess that's just kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, and I just wonder defensively if he's even going to be able to play first base at a relatively decent level. Overall, it probably doesn't matter. I mean, if you get us into July and August, it's probably a situation where, but I'm not gonna guarantee it. But I would like to think that we're more than likely not going to be in a pennant race, and therefore you could make the excuse that that's why he should play. And I'm with you, Nick. If there's no one else that seems like maybe he should be taking at bats from, then okay, maybe I would accept that. But if there's anyone that have relatively somewhat importance that should be getting at bats, whether that's CES or whether that's somehow, some unknown thing happens where we have someone else come up and, maybe McLean does come up and he's killing it and Spencer Steer's killing it and you're trying to find ways in which you can play Will Myers. Someone, I don't know. There's a million different ways that you could cut this thing and say, we want to be able to find someone at first base that we want to keep in the lineup. I know that's a bunch of hypotheticals in a row. I wouldn't be shocked too. I'll leave it at this, that Joey Votto is the type of person and the type of individual that I think he doesn't want to feel like he's a burden. He doesn't want to feel like he's a crutch. I don't think he even wants to come back if he doesn't think that he's one of the better players on the team that can benefit the team. So I will give him all the respect in the world for that. I think that that's an actual genuine thing that he feels. And Reds fans might not like this, but I think if he comes back for a game or two and he genuinely isn't healthy, he's hurt, and he knows he's hurt, it wouldn't shock me if he pulls like, he pulls the retirement card in the middle of the night type thing. Now, that might be stretching
a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. That's the only thing I keep coming back to, guys. Like, it's a lot of money to be doing that.
Not just this year, but he has to make it through this year to get the extra $7 million for the buyout next year too.
Right.
So, and again, he's earned that money. He's earned that money. Like,
yeah,
let's be very clear. That's his money. Reds signed that contract. That he's earned that. So,
I agree with you. I don't hold him. I don't hold him hostage. I know a while back he made the claim that he was going to retire if he didn't think he could cut it anymore, and he was going to leave money on the table. And I genuinely think that he meant that. I know some people laugh at that. Some people think, oh, that's just fun. I think he meant that. And he played well enough to prove that he shouldn't have retired, to be fair to him. So, all right. We got OJ's 94 Bronco in the chat, as always, bringing fire. He's saying, let's bring back Trevor Bauer. This is an interesting one. I don't think many people are screaming to the heavens about Trevor Bauer. It does seem wild to me, though, Nick, that he didn't get any kind of chance at all. And I almost think that's more to do with the fact that he is who he is and the way that he presents himself than almost the accusations that were brought against him. I really do think that. I think that if he was a what's the right term to use? Kind of a fly behind the scenes,
decent
or
person,
under the radar. Well, there's plenty of guys, Nick, right now that aren't good people that are currently pitching as we speak. I mean, the other thing I would say too is like Aroldis Chapman had a situation. So there's
but you didn't. Yeah, the difference with the Aroldis Chapman is you never had to hear him in interviews. You never had to hear him stirring the pot on social media and all that kind of stuff.
Well, that's my point. I mean, you said a good person. You meant a good person as in like one that doesn't make it about himself, or you meant like a good person as in like legal matters?
I'll leave that here and there, but just if he would have had the workman's mentality as a pitcher and just been that like that guy like Corey Kluber that just shows up and he's like stone faced and pitched, and then he had his accusation, it's a totally different ball game for him. But part of it is he made his own bed with the way that he presented himself, and didn't really give the benefit of the doubt because he was so cocky and arrogant about other things long before it. So I don't blame anyone for not wanting to take a chance and not wanting to deal with all that comes with it. Bauer is not getting in the Reds Hall of Fame.
Well, I think that's a joke. The other thing that I find funny is my man Steve Cashman out here. He's dropping the fact that if Bauer pulls the samurai move again, he might not make it out of Japan alive. That could be true as well. I don't know if folks had seen that, but I don't know. I go back and forth on Bauer a little bit. One is that I am the type of person that believes that you should go based off the law if you're an organization, and I also think that there needs to be some reasonable explanation behind whether or not you should bring him back or not. In my opinion, I would have no issues with bringing Bauer back on the precipice that he's legally cleared. I think the issue is that when you're in a situation like the Reds are and you aren't probably going to be competing anyways for something that's relevant, then what's the point of making a PR nightmare, if you will? And it might not even be a nightmare, but a PR splash when you don't really need to. I don't have a problem with what many people have a problem with Bauer, though, when it comes to the whole social media stuff and just, I don't know. I don't really get that. That doesn't bother me that much, to be frank. I mean, if he goes out there and does his job every 5 days, then you know what? He's good on my book. Now, I get that there's this quote unquote, clubhouse situation. I don't. Did you get the feeling that he was a huge cancer in a clubhouse? Because I mean, if he was, then kudos to him for coming over to the Reds and them going to the postseason.
Well, who knows? I mean, all these full season he played here, the guys couldn't even stand next to each other. So I'm not sure the Reds even got the full Trevor Bauer clubhouse experience because it was in such a weird season. I have no idea. Why are we talking about Trevor Bauer after the Reds just won 8-1 against the 14-3 Tampa Bay Rays? Why are we talking about Trevor Bauer?
Who do you want to talk about, Nick? Let's talk about him. You want to talk about Alex Young?
Yeah, let's talk about Alex Young. He was
Jabot. Who you want to talk about? I mean, I'm giving you the floor right now. Who you want to talk about?
Did you get the Fraley catch?
But the link that you sent me, I can't find the Fraley catch at all. So no, I have not. I mean, I'm gonna find it. You want me to find the Fraley catch?
Find the Fraley catch. Let's watch the Fraley catch.
First of all, the link that you had sent me, okay? Where is it even at? Or where am I finding the video at for that?
It's like
what's it called?
I have like a half screen.
Film
Jake
room.
Fraley saves multiple runs.
Film room. Okay.
If you go into the film room and then you add the Reds as your team, or as like the team in the search, and then if you bookmark that after you put that in, that bookmark will keep you like a live feed of
I-
everything that happens in a Reds game.
I genuinely have a ton of plays on here, and that play isn't one of them. So let me just type in Fraley. How about that? Let's try it. Let's see what we get. Search. Half the problem is that oh, here we go. All right, you ready for this, chat?
I'm ready.
The beautiful thing is that there's an ad running. I'm gonna have to buy some time. I got it. All right, here we go. Ready, chat? This is fun.
Chip to right, tough play. Fraley extends and he makes the catch. The hat pops free and Fraley saves the shutout. Jake Fraley with the lead. Nice job, kid. Whoa.
Does that look like you in the backyard right here, Nick? Out there.
Right.
Little wiffle ball. Little wiffle ball. Look at that.
Extends and he makes the catch.
I like the man bun. Good for him.
And Fraley.
Good for him on the man bun, too. I don't think I could ever pull
rub
that off.
Not many can. Not many can. That's me robbing my 3-year-old.
Yeah. What's up with I mean, I know the MLB's got to make money, but what's up with these 30-second commercials? I thought we were done with that. Are we done with that, chat? Come on.
I have no idea. Like, it pops right up for me. I don't have to watch any commercials.
Oh, of course.
We got to get you. I'm going
to tell you right now, this guy saved Trace's fandom of Jose Barrero after my 30-second ad again. This is ridiculous. Sammy Sosa, he's in MLB The Show. Good for him. I did not know that. Are you an MLB The Show guy, Nick? All right, here we go. This guy right here.
Yeah.
2-1. Hammer to right center. Newman scores. Fraley scores. Wave is on for Senzel. Friedel to third.
What about Friedel just deciding he's just going to run back to second?
Backside, throw down a second. Friedel safe. He clears the bases with a 3-run thunderous double, and it's 4-0.
This ball was hammered. TJ Friedel in his mind is thinking, okay, that runner on first has got to score on this double. And look at him picking him up. I mean, he's catching Nick Senzel.
Shout out Nick Senzel, too. I mean, I know guys like Nick had him buried and everything, but he's starting to play well.
TJ Friedel, man. Another
of
nice
course.
night for him. TJ Friedel's really playing well.
Yeah, well, TJ Friedel's starting to get to a point now. I'm not going to say it.
Second on the team in OPS.
I'm a jinx guy, guys. I can't do that to him. I am getting very excited about TJ Friedel.
Yeah.
And he's one of those guys that we didn't, I would say from a future perspective, we weren't 100% certain on him. He's not, I don't want to say we didn't believe in him. But if you would have said that TJ Friedel was going to be one of the biggest bright spots of the Cincinnati Reds team this year, you would have said what, Nick?
I like TJ Friedel coming in this year. If you would have said that in like July of last year before I saw like the second half that he had, then yeah, I would have been really shocked. But he looked really, really good that second half. It was just kind of one of these things. All right, was that fluky, or is that really that big swing adjustment that he made at AAA? And it looks at this point it was that big swing adjustment he made at AAA after getting sent down midseason last year.
Yeah. They're trying to give a TJ Friedel comp right now, and my man Steve dropped Norris Hopper. Let's hope not.
Norris Hopper.
That's what he's
I think
dropping
TJ
in
Friedel's
there.
closer to.
I think TJ Friedel's Grady Sizemore. Convince me otherwise. Tell me I'm wrong.
Ooh,
Tell me I'm wrong.
That's a good comp. That's
yeah, it's a good comp, Nick. I mean, Grady Sizemore was on pace to be one of the best center fielders. He's gonna go to the baseball.
no,
Hall of
but
Fame and he got hurt.
just the style of play, being a left-handed batter and having some speed and a little bit of power. I don't know. I can't think of like a Red that is anything kind of like him.
I love these random old baseball players we're getting. It's like,
I think Coco Crisp had a pretty nice little career. I think if you look back at like his page, you'd probably be like, oh, well, he actually had, yeah. I mean, Coco Crisp was a career 30-win player. I mean, it's a nice little career.
This is disgusting. Billy Hamilton.
It's better than Norris Hopper.
Billy Hamilton.
I don't know. I mean,
I used to live in the same apartment complex as Billy Hamilton when he played for the Dragons. Interesting guy.
The more you know.
Could never get past his voice. Couldn't do it. It was tough.
He talked fast.
Yep. Came rolling up in like a Camaro the first day in the parking lot, said B Ham on the back of the license plate. You knew that was his car. Other thoughts, comments, concerns from the chat? We got a good amount of you in here. We're having some fun. The Reds win. When the Reds win, I dunk basketballs, or at least I try. So that's coming up later. Better than ever. I got to make sure the kids are good and asleep by the time I do it. Hopefully my wife is sleeping very soundly as well. Last time I asked if they heard it, and they said, yeah, I heard something down there. I didn't know what happened. So didn't go well for me. Reds wild card. Man, we got people in the chat that are still talking playoffs. What's our goal this year, chat? At what date, Nick, would you say, if we're still somewhat saying when we talk about the playoffs, we kind of give it, you never know. What date would be a super, super successful year? When I say super successful, how about just this? Successful year. Like, incredible that we even said playoffs at this date.
I would say like maybe June 1st. I remember like that 2017 team that ended up losing 90-something games. They were actually still like right in the race. They were still above 500 into like mid-May. So I think if you make it into June, I think that might be kind of like the line. TJ Friedel comp, Josh Hamilton. A poor man's Josh Hamilton.
Poor man's Josh Hamilton? What do you...
I mean, Josh Hamilton won the MVP.
I mean,
I don't think TJ Friedel's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, Josh Hamilton is... that's the other question. Are we talking about like from a overall career, you'd be like, maybe if he plays like 10 years in the big leagues at an average level, is that better than 1 or 2 electric years? I don't know. But Josh Hamilton, man, that's high praise. I'm not trying to see TJ Friedel can't be him, but I guess I am in a way. I'm going to give you the date for me. That date is June 30th.
Yeah.
June 30th. Here, let me see if the chat knows anything about June 30th. Does anyone know what June 30th is? Anybody? Nick, do you know?
I don't think so.
Okay. Let me see if I'll help. I'll tell you what, the VPN that I use struggles. Makes my phone like go incredibly slow at times. All right, here we go. I'm working on it. I need better filler. What else we got to talk about? I'm gonna hit you with I don't know why my internet's just struggling on my phone here, but it is.
We're 16 games of the season, got a positive run differential right now. So
what was our record going into tonight, Nick?
6-9.
Nice.
7-9 now with a positive run differential.
Man, Alex beat me to it. What a disgust! Look at this. I mean, look at this. Just the dots. I mean, that's disgusting. I need internet, man. How hard is it to get internet? It's ridiculous. going to try to actually have something fun. I'm going to do something fun for the chat.
Tough scene.
What's the Reds? What's the Reds? Uh-oh. Is this it? This is a tough scene. I'm trying. Technology is just not my friend tonight. It's not at all. I'm going to get Chatterbox Sports in trouble. That's what I'm going to do. Don't believe me? I'll show you here in a minute. All right. Overall thoughts. What else did I see from tonight? Make some noise. Make noise. They got rid of that too, didn't they? Did they get rid of that? How many people in the chat have been to a baseball game this year? Been to Great American Ballpark and heard that?
Some like electronic thing now. It's probably they probably were set to do it on opening day, and then they were tuned into Chatterbox Reds, big opening day eve preview show, and they said, hey guys, we got to nix this. You got to nix this. We can't upset Trace, and they played the techno version, and that was the end of it. You killed it.
Well, I don't know if I killed it. I do know that it was an absolutely
retired,
disgusting chant that they decided they were going to try to do. Never made any sense.
They have a Little John soundbite now.
They do.
Someone get a video of this one. I don't remember that.
Here, this is for the chat. This is for the chat. Thoughts?
Got nothing in my brain.
Thoughts?
Definitely gonna get us banned.
Thoughts? Anybody? I don't care. What are they gonna do to me? What are they gonna do to me? Huh? I thought she pulled all of her music back anyway. She don't need no record company. That record company's got more important things to do with than Trace. Can't actually hear the song. That's the most sad part. All right. Hopefully,
is that for Kevin Newman?
Hopefully, I didn't. Yeah, maybe. Maybe Kevin. I don't have anything against Kevin. I like Kevin. Kevin's a good name.
Always been a Kevin Newman fan.
Yeah. So Taylor Swift is in town on June 30th. So if the Reds are still playoff somewhat relevant by June 30th, it's a great season. Now everybody's going to remember that in this chat. All 47 of you are going to think when Taylor Swift comes to town and the Reds are somewhat irrelevant, success.
I'll be there.
You're going to the Taylor Swift concert?
Yeah, me and the wife. We're in the same section as Big League Paul. We coordinated when we were getting the tickets. Got the same section.
So you bought tickets together?
Not together, but we coordinated the same section. I was a little bit ahead because I think Paul actually had to work that day for Chatterbox Sports.
Oh yeah, he's working.
And so I kind of helped him guide him through the rigorous process to get tickets. That was an experience. But yeah, no, I got him. Did my my one good husband deed of the year. Got the tickets, so yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah, you see what happens when I get control of the program. I could care less about those stupid copyright infringements that YouTube tells me about. I could care less about them. Casey's over here just fretting about them. They little warning label that pops up that says, "Warning: this song or your stream has been recommended as a copyright based off this song." Like, okay, dismiss for me. Whatever.
All that work with Oklahoma softball this weekend, just gonna throw it all down the tube to have a 30-second fun bite of Taylor Swift.
That's right. I don't care. Let the haters hate, baby. I'm just gonna shake it off. I'm not worried about it.
We'll get those 7K subscribers right back. No big deal.
My let's do something fun in the chat because right now we're already well past our morning podcast version. Nick's gonna have to cut this well in advance of what we've been doing.
This has been cut minutes ago.
It's been cut. This has been cut so long ago that now it's just me and you, chat. Me and you. We're just having fun on the post game of a Reds win 8-1. If you can't remember, I'll remind you. The Reds won 8-1 over the Tampa Bay Rays, who are an okay baseball team at best until they come to Cincinnati. Then they turn suddenly when they run into a real winner, they can't play anymore. I am going to go, I think. My wife's a big Taylor Swift fan. I like experiences in life. I enjoy trying to put myself in things that I'll remember for the rest of my life, quote unquote. I am a little bit concerned if I keep doing that, though, that I'm going to forget about some of these things that are relatively somewhat fun that I just completely forgot about. But the Taylor Swift reminds me of the Beatles in a way, to where like she's so big that, and when I'm older, like people are going to reference Taylor Swift like that of her being a part of my generation. So yes, I am going to finish Ted Lasso. And I don't know if I can finish Ted Lasso tonight, but I'm going to try to get there. Let's see here. Do me a favor, chat. I want you to put in there right now in the chat, because ticket prices for Taylor Swift are right around $600 if you want to get in the door. It looks like at most venues. Now Cincinnati, since it's so far in advance, has like $1,000. There's no way that it's going to sell for $1,000. That price is going to come down as we get closer. What would you spend $600? And then we'll do a poll on if you hate Taylor or not. We'll do that. What would you spend $600 on from a concert perspective? Who would you go and watch? Like if you had to spend $600 to go watch somebody, I want names in the chat. And their favorite and your favorite song of that person.
I mean, I think it has to be Bronson Arroyo, right?
Okay, we got some Led Zeppelin or Nirvana, some Travis Scott. We got some decent ones. I don't know about Bob Marley. Let me get the chat going. Let me get the poll going. Here we go. This is fun. We'll have some fun in here. Oh, no. This chat's not going right. Let's see here. Michael Jackson and Prince. Who would yours be, Nick?
Taylor Swift.
Seriously? That's like number one?
Yeah.
Number one.
I don't know. I don't know about number one.
Well, whatever. Like, it's a top couple. So you're like a true fan. You like Taylor Swift.
I mean, I jam to some Taylor Swift. I mean,
Okay, so you like her.
It's for my wife, you know. But no, I'm
put your
gonna
closet
enjoy the
fan
hell
in.
out of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can open up the closet door, Nick. It's fine. You can say you're a Taylor Swift fan. I mean, right now the chat is not a fan. I can tell you that. I think she's not bad. I don't see anybody putting the person that I want. And until they do, let's see here. This is all I got for the chat. What do you think about this, Nick? Chat, do you approve? This is who I'm going and watching. Where I'm at. All right, we did have a good weekend. I don't want to get too over the top here on this stuff, but that's music.
That's a good one. I think best halftime show of my lifetime. I enjoyed it. It wasn't weird. It was just like playing music, having a good time. Yeah, no, Tom Petty would be up there. I got a Tom Petty playlist on Spotify.
Tom Petty. By the way, Daniel, I hope you're not talking about the Bare Naked Ladies. Like you didn't actually think that was the Bare Naked Ladies, did you? You might have. John Mellencamp, good, very nice. I don't know. There's a lot of them. I actually don't think that I've seen any that I hate. It's blank space.
Maybe like Journey. I don't know. But that'd be a fun concert.
I'm not saying the Bare Naked Ladies are bad. I'm saying that hopefully that you didn't think that was the Bare Naked Ladies is what I was getting at. All right, chat. One more insightful question that we can have a little bit of Reds talk before we go to bed and we wake up tomorrow. I am finished with, I think I got one episode left of season 2, Nick. So I'm almost done. I'm almost there at the end of Ted Lasso. If I'm being honest, on a scale of 1 to 10, Ted Lasso is a 7.5 right now. It's a 7.5. It's a little bit above average. Is the chat going to hate me for that? Phil Collins isn't getting good review in the chat. I hate to see that. Okay. Thoughts, Nick?
Goo Goo Dolls. My wife texted me. She's watching apparently.
Goo Goo Dolls.
She knows me better than I know myself. That would be the one band in Buffalo. That's where they're from. I've seen they do like a big to do when they do a show up there. I saw them once in Cincinnati, but I don't think it's the same at Riverbend.
Do you know what I love about Spotify? Not that Spotify, this is a free ad. We don't do free ads on this show, but I guess I'm going to do one anyways. You know what I love about Spotify is they give you the amount of plays of the song. Have you ever noticed that and seen that? That's elite. This is for the Kirby's right here. Ready? Chatterbox's account's going to be dead tomorrow. So whatever. Who cares? Just create a new one.
And I'd give up forever to touch you, 'cause I know now you're the closest to heaven that I'll ever be, and I don't wanna go.
All right. Hopefully you liked it. I can't. You know what stinks about this? I got to figure out how I can hear that. I can't hear it, so it's hard to.
Yeah, it's crystal clear on my end. So
I know it's crystal clear. It's just that I've muted. What I've done is I've muted my mixer here, so I don't have to hear myself and sound like I'm drunk, like I have done in the past. And now I just forget how I can maybe mute that or unmute it, but it's here nor there.
You don't want to sound like Rob Manfred when he gave the.
Right.
Trophy in 2020.
Right. Yeah.
What a moment.
It's tough. I mean, it really, for those that don't know, when you hear yourself back, it'll do a serious number to you. It'll make you feel pretty poor. Feel like an idiot. Kiss Live's fun. All right, so here's what we're gonna do as well, chat. I know we're dwelling into the middle of the night. We're just shooting at the hip. We've gone on way too long. I got to do a dunk. That's number 1. Number 2 is we got to figure out a game. Maybe we make it a poll one night on what game we should decide to go to. But I will see. I doubt we have the money because Chatterbox isn't that wealthy. But maybe we can find some kind of way to get some kind of section reserved or group tickets or something along those lines where we do a Chatterbox Reds night. We go down there and we just get all banged up, have a good time. And if the Reds win by a lot of runs, then, hopefully if you are a person that likes to partake, we'll go throw some dice. What do you say? No free ads. I'm not gonna tell you where we're gonna go throw dice at, but just saying.
Reds play a day game the day of Taylor Swift. Doubleheader. Reds Padres at 1. Taylor Swift at 7.
I can't do that. I can't. I'm serious. That would be a tough day for me.
Maybe Friday night.
Yeah, I need to do it. I need to pace myself, as they say. You know, that's a veteran move, is when you know when to start and when to stop. That's what all veterans do. I just know that I cannot possibly go to a Reds game and then turn around and go to a Taylor Swift concert. For those that are making fun of the Taylor Swift thing, I mean this genuinely. Just go YouTube, or I think might even be on Netflix. I don't know what it is, but go look at her concerts. Like, they're absurd. Like, you can say whatever you want about her music, but she's changing the game when it comes to concerts. Like, it's electric.
All right,
we're
let's
back.
just
We're
go
back.
into.
We're back.
Let's do it. Here we go.
All right, we're back. We're buffing. All right, here we go. We need to do tomorrow's starters. Let me make sure that there's a clean break so Nick can edit this out.
All right, tomorrow, Nick Lodolo looking to continue his strong start to the season with his 2.12 ERA, going up against Taj Bradley. Bradley is the number 18 ranked prospect in baseball. Just got called up last week, and in his MLB debut, 3 runs allowed over 5 innings with 8 strikeouts and just 1 walk against the Red Sox. So looks like a pretty good pitching matchup tomorrow.
Who are they throwing, Nick? What's his guy's name?
Taj Bradley.
Never heard of her.
Number 18 ranked prospect in baseball.
Never
Rays
heard of
number
her.
1 prospect.
Doesn't seem like he's any good. All right, you know how this goes, chat. I am going to sign us off, and I'm going to attempt the dunk. And you know, here's the thing I want to let you guys know, is I don't do it easy. You know, I could go up there and just throw it down one-handed, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, as they say. But no, I don't do that. I don't settle for second best. I go for the cream of the cream. You know what I'm saying? The creme de la creme. I'm going for the ultimate dunk. I'm going for the dunk that you can clip it, and it says, when you watch it back, you say, that guy's an athlete. You can't do that unless you're an athlete. I'm watching the chat. What do you want? Off the sidewall. Steve wants off the sidewall. I'm going to go off the sidewall. I'm going to go off the sidewall with a behind the back dunk. I ain't stalling, Sean. And we ain't trading India, so forget it.
You going full screen here?
All right. You ready for this? I'm gonna give it to you. Better than ever. I'm gonna turn the light on first so you can see it for your own beautiful eyes. Off the sidewall, behind the back. It wasn't
8.5.
perfect, but it was still pretty elite. Similar to TJ Friedel. I hope everybody loves this show. We try to put on the best one we can. It's not great all the time, but it can be better tomorrow. So tomorrow, we're going to try to make a better show than we did today. That's the plan. Just like the Cincinnati Reds. You understand? You're better tomorrow than you were yesterday. And then you're better tomorrow than you were yesterday. You do that enough times, guys, and you're a good baseball team. That's what the Cincinnati Reds are going to do. And until tomorrow, we will see you back better than ever tomorrow. Love you. Take care of yourselves. I hope you all have a beautiful night and you sleep well.